Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Liberty Loft Lessons. This will be episode number 49. The song I'm going to be teaching you guys today is the song from the intro, and that's called Let the Light In by Tash Sultana. This is another requested song, so big shout out to Golf9421 for requesting this song. This lesson's also for Annie, who had requested any Tash Sultana acoustic song. You guys already know I'm a big fan of Terra Firma. And Tash Sultana too, of course. So when I got the request, I immediately wanted to make a lesson on it. I'm going to start by showing you guys the tuning, and it's just a really odd tuning for this one. After we learn the tuning, the song can be broken down into 3 parts. I'm going to show you guys the verse first, which is just 3 chords. After that, I'm going to show you guys the chorus, or what I'm going to call the chorus, which is 3 more chords after that. And lastly, I'm going to show you guys the bridge, which is another 3 chords. Again, I just thought this would be a really fun song for you guys to learn. You might impress your friends even with that open tuning. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the lesson. All right, so first things first, right? We're gonna talk about the tuning, and it's a really odd tuning, but it's a really cool one as well, because what we're gonna do is tune our guitar to a open D. So to do that, we're gonna take the E, and we're gonna drop it down to D, right? And then for the next one, the A string, we're gonna leave alone. The D string, we're gonna leave alone. The G string, I'm gonna drop down a half step to F sharp, right in there. The B string, I'm gonna drop down a whole step to an A. All right, and then the last one, the high E string, we'll drop that down to a D as well. And then what we get is open D, but we're not done yet because we're gonna put a capo on fret 1. All right, and you may need to retune after this. I always like to do that. So then with the capo on, we'll have D sharp, A sharp, D sharp, G, A sharp, and D sharp. And now it'll sound like this. So that's actually an open E flat is what you're hearing there. That's how we're gonna play this whole song. All the tabs that I'm gonna reference on the screen are gonna be relative to the capo on the 1st fret. With the tuning down, now we can get into the lesson. All right, so let's start by learning the chord shapes for the verse. The first chord shape is gonna be right here on the 12th fret relative to the capo. So I'm gonna have my middle finger on 12, my ring finger on 12, and my index finger on 11. And it's gonna sound like that. The next chord is gonna be down here on the 9th fret relative to the capo, and it's gonna be 9 with my ring finger. I'm gonna do 9 with my pinky, and index finger is gonna be 7 of the D string. It's gonna sound like that. And then the last chord is gonna be that same shape, but on the 4th fret, like that. So those 3 chords. How we're gonna strum it is, so down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, down, up, down, up. And again, you can use a pick, or Tash likes to use just her thumb, so that's why I'm using my thumb for this one. So those are all the chords for the verse. You just repeat those 3 times, and then we're into this. All right, so now we're on to the chords for the chorus, right? And this part is gonna sound like this. Right, so pretty easy there. So we're gonna start with this open strum, and then we're gonna hammer on. I'm gonna do 2nd fret of the A string and 1st fret of the D string here. All right, so I kind of like to think of that as like if we were in standard tuning, sort of like a dominant 7 shape. We'll play that a few times. We'll start the next bar with that same shape, and then we'll slide up 2 frets each, take it off real quick, and we'll go. So basically it's like So again, just that hammer on there. So I'm hammering on the down strum and playing it again on the up strum. Like that. So just a couple quick hammer-ons of that same chord to open. So one more time. Cool. And then we're back into the verse. The first time around. The second time around, we go into this little bridge part. Now let's move on to the bridge. All right, so now let's learn the chords for the bridge, right? So this part's gonna sound like this. Into the chorus. This is gonna start with this chord right here. And to play that, I got my middle finger on the 9th fret of the A string and my index finger on the 7th fret of the D string relative to the capo. And I'm gonna mute this top E string from ringing. I'm gonna play these 3 strings, the D, A, and G strings. That'll be the first chord. The next chord is just 2 frets down from that. Same shape. And the last chord we're gonna play twice, and it's just gonna be 5 on the A string and 4 on the D string here. Like that. And like I said, we'll play it twice, and then we'll end on that 4th fret chord that we played in the verse. We already learned from the verse. All right, so the very last thing I wanna show you guys is how Tash likes to end the song. So coming out of the chorus, we'll play this little harmonic right here on the 12th fret, which all that is if you just lay your hand right on top of the 12th fret here, not pressing down at all, but just laying it right on top. You can just strum these bottom 4 strings like that. And that's how you play pinch harmonic on the 12th fret. All right, so that's how you play the song.